What could be more terrifying than the future? With global events such as war, disease, famine, often fiction is not nearly as terrifying as reality. But what about in the world of Strickfield, our unsuspecting Ohio town that's always full of surprises? What happens in their future?
Feel the chill in the air. Listen to the leaves rustle as they die and fall to the ground. It is Halloween. You will experience tales of horror, ghosts, and death. It is not recommended for the weak at heart. Join me for a tale of Halloween. This is Weekly Spooky.
Hello, my spookies. No, it's not Wednesday, but it is October, and we're giving you 31 days of spooky. I'm your host and narrator, Enrique Couto. Of course, I'm back here on Friday to give you another trip to Strickfield, but this time, it's all about time. We are going to get a peek into what the future holds at Strickfield. And it's, believe it or not, pretty scary. But before we get to that, I want to take a moment on the show to dedicate this program to a dear friend of mine who passed away. His name was Jeff Burr. Jeff was a fellow film director. He made several films I guarantee you've seen, such as Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Stepfather 2, Puppet Master 4 and 5, but he also made some really brilliant films that were not just simply genre fare, stuff like Straight Into Darkness and Eddie Presley. Jeff made a huge impact on me as a filmmaker and later as a dear friend. He passed away way too young. So all I ask of you out there in the spooky world is maybe watch one of his scary films this weekend. I'd consider it a personal favor. So maybe pop in your copy of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 or watch Stepfather 2 on Shudder, whatever. I'd appreciate it. Jeff, you're going to be sorely missed by so many. So now it's about time we get into the story because I don't think anyone wants to hear me sobbing on the show. Or maybe you do, maybe you're into that, but I doubt it. So we have a trip into the future coming up, and there will be no DeLorean, no Doc Brown, no playing Johnny Be Good. Oh no. The future is looking very, very dark and very, very hungry. And the future in Strickfield is maybe exactly what you'd expect. Let's listen to that story now, after these quick words. Future Taibon by Rob Fields. I suddenly open my eyes and realize that I can move. I live. I can see that I am within a construction designed specifically to contain my body. With a simple and quick upward movement, I push the lid off so that it flies away and hits a nearby wall. I sit up and see that it is night. However, I can see everything quite clearly. I look down upon my lap and see both the wooden stake and the crucifix, the accursed objects that were used to both bind me and keep me imprisoned within this vault in a former lifetime. I stand to my bare feet and leap from the vault to land upon the floor. I examine myself and see the tattered and aged remains of my dress. How long have I been imprisoned within that vault? What has transpired during that time? More importantly, who was responsible for staking my heart and binding me? I must be patient. I currently feel disorientation, but I believe that will pass. I step outside the crypt and run my fingers through my long metallic blonde hair as the wind caresses me. Then I smile for the first time when I see the lightning flash. A loud crash of thunder follows. Truly this storm shall be powerful. Soon it begins to rain, a little at first, then I quickly become thoroughly soaked, making me truly relish my freedom. I feel that I have been imprisoned within that crypt for a great many years. My disorientation causes me to stagger a little, but I move through the burial ground in the harsh storm until I come upon the gates. I see the crucifix that binds the entrance. Fools! Before, a binding could only be used against me, and personally. I can easily remove the crucifix, but I have a better idea. I leap over the gates and land with the grace of a feline. The trees on the path before me sway with intensifying winds as the cold rains continue to soak me through the remains of my dress. For a time, I continue along the path until I reach what appears to be a dense forest. I enter it as the lightning flashes again, followed by a tremendous crash. The trees shield me to a degree as the storm grows stronger still. In time, I come across the remains of a horse-drawn carriage. As there are 2 horse skeletons outside, so are there 2 human skeletons inside. Their clothes appear to be just as old and tattered as my dress. After searching the coach, the only things that I find of potential value are some gold coins and a few rubies. I leave them with the skeletons, since I have no use for such riches. I also do not feel that it is right to steal from the dead. I exit the coach and continue along the path. Why do I continue to feel disorientation, in spite of my long slumber? Now I feel a slight buzzing sensation deep from within my head. The storm grows ever stronger. Then I discover that my hair shows no dampness, in spite of all the rain. I touch my metallic hair to find that it feels silky smooth. Suddenly I am attacked by an inhabitant of this forest, seemingly out of nowhere. The monster and I tumble over one another. Knowing that I must now do battle, I seize the creature with one hand and throw it into a nearby tree. The creature hits the tree and falls forward to land in the mud. It springs to its feet and comes for me again. Remembering that I am a vampire, I will myself transmorph for battle. However, neither my face changes nor do my claws emerge. The creature snarls and attacks me again. With lightning reflexes, I seize the creature by its throat and throw it into the nearby river with almost no effort. It sinks below the water and resurfaces shortly after. As I understand more, I can see that the creature is a werewolf, but with the tail of a scorpion. Not quite a manticore. The monster leaps at me again, colliding. Once again, we tumble over one another. When I am to my feet again, the werewolf swiftly lashes out with its tail and stings me. The pain is brief, but his attack has angered me. "I do not wish to do battle with you," I yell. I lash out against the creature and subdue it. I remember my strength from a past life, though it feels as if I am much stronger now. As I have the monster down for the final death blow, a sudden understanding comes over me. No, I am no murderer. I withdraw from the creature and return to the path to resume my present course. My disorientation becomes more intense, and I cry out when I feel a sudden urge within my head that causes me to fall. I lay there as the storm continues to wash over me. Have I emerged from that tomb just to gain a new one here in the wilderness? No, I scream. I suddenly sit straight up and fight to stand. I refuse to be a prisoner within my own body. When I am to my feet, I fall again. My disorientation and cerebral pains are too great now. And then, my vision suddenly changes and dims. Shortly after, I see the words flashing repeatedly in a language I should not be able to understand. But they read, "Initial system setup commencing." For a brief moment, I see nothing but multiple words and phrases rapidly moving upward. And then, I can see fully once more. In fact, I can now see the clearest that I have ever seen in my brief existence. In under a minute, the initial system setup is complete. I sit up again, and no longer feel any pain or disorientation. I begin to understand more as other operations commence. First, I download and execute a full systems upgrade. I can see and feel all of the numerous components inside my brain receiving the most advanced updates, all of which are being optimized. In just under 2 minutes, I am at full optimal capacity and remember a great many memories prior to being bound and staked. Feeling that the system is awaiting my mental commands, I access my internal clock. The last time that I can recall through my memories was October 31st, 1887. The interface currently reads October 31st, 2099. It just does not seem that I have been entombed for 212 years, though I can remember many of the events of my imprisonment clearly. Analyzing these memories, I cannot produce a glimpse of whom it was that both staked and entombed me. Only the pain and being rendered unconscious. I look up to the stormy skies and let the rains wash over my face again. After better than 2 centuries, I live and know freedom. I must learn about this new time. Certainly much has happened during my entombment. For now, I shall continue along this path until I reach a place of interest. The storm continues to rage ever stronger still, with the winds showing their tremendous strength. My patience is eventually rewarded upon seeing a large structure in the distance. Upon reaching it, I see what is left of the sign that once identified it. Using but a minuscule fraction of my advanced software, I can create a perfect reconstruction of the sign. This structure was once known as Strickfield Town Center Mall. Immediately accessing the files in my limitless databanks, I learned that this structure was once a place of commerce that housed many shops, all under a single roof. I walk to what was once an entrance and enter. I walk the brief corridor to reach the main area itself. Walking the length of this former mall, I scan the remains of the shops. Though the mall is quite dark to a normal person, I can easily see it as if it's still daylight. My software recreates a map of this mall and codes the shops to it. Soon I approach a shop of potential interest and enter. This shop has many items of vintage clothing that I scan to my exterior measurements. Finding suitable clothing upon a mannequin, I remove the tatters of my dress. Feeling the rainwater dripping from my hair and down my naked form, I apply my new clothing. A short pair of denim shorts with a belt, an athletic red neon top, a synthetic leather jacket, and ankle-high stiletto boots. Upon seeing picture displays of various females around the shop, I decide to utilize handkerchiefs to secure my abundant hair. Now that I am suitably clothed, I exit the shop and examine more of this mall. Not finding anything else that I require, I finish my tour and approach a different entrance to depart. Seeing the still raging storm, I access a map of Strickfield and decide to investigate this area. Wishing to venture there swiftly, I will transmorph into a bat to be able to fly out into the storm. However, I cannot. I will myself to transmorph into a wolf, with the same results. Since it seems these aspects of my vampiric powers are no longer existent, I leap into the air to make a long jump. As I focus on my current destination, all that I see are vast wastelands. It seems as though someone or something has laid waste to this area. As I wonder if my imprisonment was the reason, my new memories are quick to say otherwise. No, my imprisonment was meant for just that. I must learn the reasons and those responsible. After one more jump, I land just outside of the area of Strickfield and enter. As I explore the remains of this village, I soon enter into what appears to have been a place of fellowship and dining. There are skeletons everywhere, many of which are costumed, as though they are in some form of masquerade. I'm quick to ascertain that in a former life, these organics celebrated the Earth occasion known as Halloween. My software also reconstructs the structure to show that it was a popular diner, once known as Denoyer's Grill. My databanks tell me that in the year 2030, on Halloween night, a powerful deity, known as Hellweaver, would conquer the mortal realm utilizing an ancient artifact, known as the Reality Sphere. A last stand was taken against Hellweaver, her daughter, and a high priest. Hellweaver would prove victorious and the entire multiverse would fall to her. As a result, Earth's natural balance was forever disrupted, resulting in these destructive weather patterns and consistent nights. Hellweaver and her greatly vast armies laid waste to Earth and either destroyed or imprisoned many of its people. From there, Hellweaver would repopulate the Earth with her own people of sorts. I was upon this world during 2030, but was still imprisoned within my tomb. The more data that I compile, the more that What has happened to me? Why have I changed so drastically between my imprisonment and now? I only remember a former life of being a powerful vampire and a Traylonder hybrid. Now, I immediately call for the schematics of my body and how am I even capable of doing this? The great energy that I feel, the data that I see, the calculations that I can instantly perform. According to my schematics, I've become a machine. Truly, I am no longer organic flesh, bone, blood, muscle, and organs. There is completely nothing left of my original organic body. Somehow, I have been given a new body, comprised of metal, circuits, neuro-optics, processors, a power core, and a multitude of software. On the outside, I have a skin base that greatly resembles flesh, nails, and hair that can perfectly mimic the organic Earth female that I have now become. My abundant hair and my greatly enlarged breasts mimic those of the organic Traylonder female. And yet, like organic beings, I am sentient and can feel emotion. But how? How did I cease being an organic vampire alien hybrid upon my imprisonment and awaken to become a full machine? I desire to access this information in my databanks, but not yet. Not until I have come to terms with my new environment and what I now am. This post-apocalyptic Earth is the world I must occupy for now. In addition, I must call this new mechanical body my own. At least with my new flesh and hair, I can pass for an organic Earth human. But to live as a machine in a world of organics. Like organics, I have a will of my own and am quite capable of making my own decisions. Well, now I wish to know my new world. So far, I only see what has resulted from Hellweaver's onslaught. After finding nothing of great importance, I leave the diner and decide to explore more of the former village of Strickfield. I walk until I reach what was the heart of the village. There are only the remains of the many shops, that the inhabitants had once taken for granted. I call upon more data in regards to the demise of this once populated area, and learn that the final battle between Hellweaver and the Chosen Six, known as the Battle Guard, had taken place at my location, in what was Gunter Town Square, a park. I gasped when I learned that one among those Chosen Six had betrayed their allies and joined Hellweaver, leading to both the downfall of the Battle Guard and the multiverse. Unfortunately, I have no data regarding the betrayer. Feeling anger and frustration over what I have just learned, I shout, "Are there no other life forms upon this world?" Faint noises are swift to answer my question. Soon I see movements from some of the shops. It appears as though organic beings are coming forth. However, they are in states of advanced decay. I scan one of the beings to determine that the decomposition has been relatively slow, but these creatures are indeed in a state of zombification. They all slowly advance towards me. In my memories, zombies would always ignore vampires since they too are undead. Now, upon quick analysis of my body, it seems as though I am miraculously no longer undead. Remembering that I can leap far distances, I do so, and escape the undead beings. The zombies mindlessly and instinctively reach up to grab me. I am with great sadness, and almost feel discouraged. But then, I am with optimism. There must be organic living beings left upon this world. There must! I receive my confirmation when I feel danger coming from behind. Very swiftly, someone attacks me and takes me down to the crumbled streets. As the zombified organics gather around us, my attacker turns and shoots at them with a hand weapon. "Begone, empty shells! This cow now belongs to Sarathos!" Angered by his comment, I rise and strike my attacker. I belong to no one. This Sarathos flies away from me fast and slides down the broken street. Upon coming to a stop, he is swift to return to his feet. "You dare strike me, cow?" He points at me. "You shall know what it means to defy Sarathos. You shall know what it means to defy Sarathos." And then, there are more of those werewolf creatures with scorpion tails like the one I encountered in the woods shortly upon my awakening. "She's yours, my pets," Sarathos tells them. "Make this cow pay for her defiance." The werewolves give their battle howls before they charge at me. If they wish to engage me in battle, then so I shall oblige them. When the first werewolf creature reaches me, I take hold of it and hurl it far away. I am easily able to avoid the claws and teeth, even the tails. As I show these creatures that I am far superior to them, I am amazed with how fluid and swift I can move in this new body. To my memories, no machine has ever moved like this. But then my last recalled time was 1887. It seems much has changed by 2099. However, I've seen nothing in the way of advancements for this time. Given the complexity of my new body, I already know that it was not constructed in 2099. My new body is futuristic alien technology. I continue to do battle with the creatures until I have subdued them all. It is then that Sarathos decides to finally engage me, himself. Only he attacks me from behind a second time, the way only a coward would. "Now, cow, you shall learn your place," he declares. Suddenly, he clasps something around my neck, securing me as if I was his runaway property. When he starts pulling me to him with his great strength, I grab hold of the chain and pull against him. "You dare?" Sarathos growls, surprised by my own great strength. This organic despot succeeds in pulling me to him again and pummels me with 3 powerful blows. "What is this?" he yells, seeing that I refuse to stay down. He growls and pummels me again. Then he holds me down to allow a few of the werewolves that have recovered to return and sting me. With enough of their toxins in my system, I am compromised and rendered unconscious.
There's more scares where that came from. Weekly Spooky will be right back.
I awaken to find myself in what appears to be a medieval throne room. My interface comes back online, then I see more of those words in that same alien language that I should not be able to understand. Translated to American English, the words would say, toxin levels, 0%. Neurotoxins compromised. Yes, it was the werewolves' toxins that had rendered me unconscious. As of now, I am at full strength once more. I see that I'm shackled by chains at my wrists, my ankles, my neck, and even at my waist. I scan the throne room and see other scantily clad organic females. I feel my emotions rise at knowing that these other organics yet live. Then my emotions turn to anger at knowing that Sarathos is keeping these females here against their will. "You've awakened," an organic female to my left says to me. I turn to look upon her and see that she is with injuries, causing my anger to increase. "What has become of you?" I demand. "Did Sarathos beat you, and why?" The female begins to cry. "I was to be married when Sarathos invaded our village of Pendleton. He burst into the church at our wedding and viciously murdered the man whom I was to marry. When my parents tried to stop Sarathos, he killed them in cold blood. Then he took me, my maid of honor, and 2 of my bridesmaids and imprisoned us here, in this throne room with these others. I managed to escape recently, but Sarathos quickly tracked me down and beat me harshly before securing me here again. As I examine the chamber more, I can see that we are all kept 5 yards apart from one another. Upon further analysis, it seems as though we are here for decoration, entertainment, and perhaps for non-consensual sex. If I have anything to say about this, I shall stop Sarathos and free these organic females. There is a quick silence when we hear a loud noise. Moments after, Sarathos enters the throne room, and with more organic females secured by chains. As the women struggle against him, he pulls back hard. "Cease your useless struggling, you stupid cows! From now on you belong to Sarathos, and soon you shall all serve as the yearly Halloween sacrifice to my almighty goddess herself, Hellweaver, which shall be in remembrance of the anniversary of when my goddess would conquer the entire multiverse." Knowing that I must not delay in freeing myself and the others, I fight against the chains that bind me. Bind me! My anger escalates into fury against Sarathos for imprisoning me. First, I would awaken to find myself imprisoned within a crypt. Now I am bound and chained for the pleasures of this despot? To serve as a potential offering to the very goddess that I shall eventually engage in battle with? Never. "I said there is no use struggling, cow," Sarathos mocks me. "These other cows have no chance of breaking free, and neither will you." I laugh scornfully at him. "You've seen that I am not a normal organic female despot, and I shall remain free." With one great and powerful pull, I succeed in breaking the chains from the metallic walls. "You dare?" Sarathos yells in disbelief. He pushes his newly captured females aside to grab a very large golden axe from above his fireplace. He stands ready to face me in combat now. I have just finished removing the last of the shackles from my body and assume a fighting stance. Sarathos is easily 5 feet taller than I, and appears to have incredible strength. But I do not fear him in the least. "Today you fall," I tell Sarathos. Suddenly he lowers his weapon and sneers. I look to see his pack of werewolves with their scorpion tails have entered the throne room. Sarathos wishes for them to engage me again, believing that I am far too insignificant to do battle with him myself. "Very well, Sarathos. I shall again engage in battle with your pets," I concede. "And after I've defeated them, again, I then shall engage and defeat you." The 5 werewolves gather around me like a pack of wild dogs. I'm ready for them this time. They growl and waste no time in coming at me. I remain calm, yet I move swiftly. I utilize my fighting arts that were learned from long ago in a previous life, and even fighting arts that I should not know presently. Nonetheless, I begin dancing with these monstrosities. These creatures are easily 2 feet taller than I and have great muscular builds. Seeing them only reminds me that this body is no longer organic. I am a machine. I am far superior to these organic creatures. As I battle the werewolves, I am quite amazed at how fluidly I move in my new body. My fists and feet strike with deadly force as I dance gracefully with these beasts. "She is but a cow, you mindless cretins!" Sarathos yells when he sees that his beasts are truly no match for me. "Slay her, or I shall offer all of you in the Halloween sacrifice to Hellweaver." I move into the final act of my dance and render all of the werewolves unconscious. As they lay before me at my feet, I turn and gaze upon Sarathos. "You must face me yourself now, coward, unless," I raise an eyebrow, "unless you are afraid of a cow." Sarathos raises his weapon. "I shall end you for mocking me this day, cow." His body now shudders as Sarathos begins a transformation into a more monstrous werewolf creature than his minions that I have just defeated. When he finishes, I witness that he is much stronger than he was when human. He utters a loud roar before he engages me. In response, I move and flip towards him, all too eager to dance again. Upon our reaching one another, the newly transformed Sarathos swings his golden axe to commence our dance. I cross my arms in front of me and slowly, ever so calmly, arch backward. The axe blade passes over me as a gentle breeze. I finish my flip and land gracefully on the heels of my stiletto boots. It almost seems as if I'm dancing barefoot. Sarathos growls and swings his axe with much fury. Truly, I see my dance partner now. He is with great arrogance and anger at believing that he could easily defeat one such as I, simply because I have the appearance of an organic earth female. "I captured you once before myself, cow," he roars at me, confirming that he is capable of speech in his alternate form. "Once I have lain capture to you again, I shall show the others the error of your ways, by ravaging you until you beg me for your life. Then your meat shall make a most tasty stew to add to the Halloween offering for Hellweaver." I laugh softly. Foolish despot. 1, you did not defeat me yourself. Your lower werewolves did much of the work for you. 2, I have had sufficient time to learn and understand more about myself. I am most ready for you this time. 3, I am not one of your so-called cows. In fact, I am actually known by 2 names. In birth, I was Mahari of the royal house of Rielos, and was princess of Trelond, a planet many light years from Earth. Here on my adopted world, I was given a new name and rechristened Cassilia Taibon. Sarathos roars again and narrowly misses me as I gracefully dance a cartwheel to avoid his deadly axe blow. I continue my introduction to Sarathos. "We Taibons have made it our business to eradicate supernatural evil wherever we may encounter it, and to protect innocent mortals from those who would harm or enslave them. For all I know, I may very well be the last Taibon in existence. And as long as even one Taibon exists, both the family business and the mission shall never change. And today," I laugh with the grace of my dancing once more, "today you shall fall before a Taibon." Sarathos roars with intense fury, causing his yellow eyes to glow bright, and swings his axe at its hardest. Once more he is unsuccessful in striking me and embeds his weapon into the floor to render it both stuck and useless. I enter the next part of my dance and begin showing Sarathos that he, too, is but an inferior organic. The longer Sarathos and I battle, the more he learns that this cow is not so easily overcome. Even in his enhanced werewolf form, he continues to throw his powerful fists and claws at me, but I continue dancing much too gracefully to allow him to strike me as he did during our first encounter. He makes his impending defeat all the more as he roars with increasing anger and frustration at me. I continue to perform my dance recital with Sarathos by attacking him myself and throwing and kicking him from pillar to post. At one point, I even lift him with a single hand and hurl him clear across his throne room. He breaks several of the large bricks that comprise the wall upon his impact and falls upon his back. Sarathos stands to his feet again and shows more signs of anger and frustration when he begins to telegraph his blows. He is clearly not thinking straight any longer. In memories, I can recall how I was chastised by self-entitled males because I loved to dance. I was chastised for my bewitching beauty and my greatly endowed upper body. The self-entitled males of the former days even chastised me when they discovered that I was both a Taibon and a trained killer. Sarathos chastised me for having the identity of an organic female, and now he chastises me again as I flip over his hulking form and land with grace like a feline. I believe it is time to finish this dance. I come into him and unleash a series of devastating blows. In time, I deal Sarathos a most devastating defeat. Now I stand above him, holding his hulking form down with one hand as I raise the other for the killing blow. Upon scanning his form, I only need to sever his brain from the rest of his body to end him. "Your tyranny ends here and now, despot," I yell. "Hellweaver shall not receive your Halloween offering this day, and on this day you fall to both a female and a Taibon." As I hear the cries of the females he's captured to end him, I have the sudden realization from when I fought that first werewolf. In a former lifetime, I would have indeed ended Sarathos and claimed his life. But that former lifetime are simply memories that I now possess. That past lifetime does not define my new life now. The females protest and chastise me when I release him and step back. Though a machine, I may be in this new life. I and I alone decide my own fate. While Sarathos has likely taken many organic lives and has captured many organic females, while his life is now mine to claim, I will not destroy him. In a former life, I was indeed a vicious killer. But today, I am no killer. The Taibon way is to save lives. The only lives that we claimed in former years were those who had none. Vampires being a prime example. That shall hold true for me now. Sarathos shudders and then returns to his original form. "You should have ended me, cow," he sneers. "Make no mistake, I shall be avenged for your treachery this day. When Hellweaver does not receive my offering, she will surely come for you and destroy you." I laugh a little. "And should we ever engage each other in battle again, Sarathos, I know that you shall time and time again fall to me." I glare at him now. "You cannot and will never defeat a machine." Then I strike a blow between his eyes to render the foolish despot unconscious. As for Hellweaver, if she should come, I shall stand ready to engage in battle with her. It is still the night of Halloween as I finally take my leave of the castle that once belonged to Sarathos and venture back into the harsh storm. The females have turned the despot loose for fear of Hellweaver coming for her offering. He could not run away from the castle fast enough. As for the organic females that he had captured, they have also abandoned the castle and have gone their separate ways. Many of them will return to their loved ones. Others will find new adventures or homes of their own. As for me, I am a Taibon. I am an avenger and shall continue in my present course of action. Before I can render a map to determine my next destination, my interface begins to flash in that alien language again. I will the interface to display American English and read, Mission incoming. When the flashing ceases, the files have downloaded and are open to me. There are several objectives to my new mission. The ultimate objective will be to confront Hellweaver myself and save the universe from becoming this hellish, post-apocalyptic wasteland. You would think and feel that I would have ultimately awakened in 2030 to engage Hellweaver in battle. Upon reading the mission files, it's quite clear to me now as to why I am in 2099. I have objectives that I must accomplish here first. Do note that Sarathos was not a part of my mission. Also note that I have stated that I and I alone decide my own destiny. While it is true that I have been given a mission, I am not bound to comply with it. However, it is my emotions and my secondary programming that will guide me into accepting the mission. Upon finishing my briefing, an updated map of my current location opens. I must ultimately reach Shore City, one of the last great cities on Earth that survived what is known as the Hellweaver Holocaust. I have important side objectives to accomplish prior to reaching Shore City. Currently, I'm en route to the Pendleton Way Station. I walk along what was once a major highway that is broken and cracked from years of weathering and disrepair, much like many of the intersecting roads that I've encountered. In time, I hear howling in the distance, even through the harsh winds that continue to accompany this great and powerful storm. I look up to the sky and am able to use filtering software to witness the full moon above the clouds. Truly, I shall not be alone for much longer. I am proven correct as a pack of werewolves reveal themselves to me and converge. They do not possess scorpion tails as Sarathos's creatures did. Just the same, they truly mean to either curse me, to assimilate me into their pack, or devour me. Without fear, I assume my fighting stance and give them a curtsy. "Shall we dance?" I murmur. The werewolves growl and advance towards me. Now, I can begin my dance. To be continued. Well, we have a little bit of a cliffhanger on our hands. That's right, we've headed into the future, and the future is extremely dark in Strickfield and apparently in the rest of the world. But can our new robotic vampire Taibon save the day, or will Hellweaver reign supreme? I guess you'll just have to keep listening to Weekly Spooky to find out. I hope you enjoyed that story as much as I did. It's always nice to have a little break from the genre and go into a subgenre we don't usually have. We've only delved into sci-fi horror a little bit on this show, and I think it was a nice change of pace. So a big thank you to Rob for that story, and don't worry, we'll be back at Strickfield next week, so all you have to do is be patient. Also, I want to mention, tomorrow, right here on Weekly Spooky, we're going to have another compilation of the best of our Halloween stories, because we did one last weekend and you all loved it. So, it's from popular demand. So make sure you're subscribed on your favorite podcasting app so you don't miss it. And if you want to learn more about the show or support us directly, you can go over to weeklyspooky.com and check out our Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month, you can get bonus scary stories every single month. And you can join our Patreon podcast boosters. These are folks who pay just a little bit more to hear their names on the show. And they are Johnny Nix, Bobbletopia.com, Megan Hua, Julia Kirsch, Brent McCullough, Steve King, Karen Weemet, and Craig Cohen. Thank you all from the bottom of my black heart for supporting the show. And if you want your name to be on that list at the end of every episode, just go to weeklyspooky.com, click on Patreon, and contribute. But anyway, my friends, it's about time for me to get out of here, but I do want to mention at weeklyspooky.com, we have some brand new hoodies and brand new t-shirts to check out too. So head over there when you get a chance. But now, I gotta get out of here. There's so much more to record. So for myself, for my executive producers, Rob Fields and Joshua Butler, for my producer, Dan Wilder, and my composer, Ray Mattis, I'll talk at you next time.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to find your way back next week. But for now, you are safe. Trust me.